Great job on these 2 runs. Really like the handling. Go over a couple of spots here and we will answer your questions. So great job on these contacts first. Releasing on the verbal. Really like that. And then right up here, very interesting spot. And I do like how you handled it. And first is stopping to create the turn here. That's nice. And then again, stopping at the takeoff point. Here we have the dog's takeoff point. Sometimes people just roll right through here and then the dogs will go long or start heading toward, I think back toward the A-frame in this case. So nice job. I think you can turn a little bit sooner. So as the dog's landing, you want to already be moving in this direction. And that will let you get a little bit ahead of your dog. But, of course, in this situation, it's not too advantageous to be that far ahead of your dog because you want to help him with the weave poles. Now here I think you do cut into your dog, push into your dog a little bit too late. So this is the exit. So remember, on the weaves, the dogs are never exiting really straight on the weave poles. The dogs are always exiting slightly this way. And if we look at your body and your motion, you're still headed very much forward. So I'd expect the dog to also go forward. But what we really need here is a turn. And you can see that the angle is very different. So you actually need to head in that direction as the dog is right here exiting. Ideally, if you could do it even here at pole 10 and 11, you don't need to be over here, although that would be even more ideal. It is okay to be back here, but you can no longer be heading this way. You definitely need to be moving in this direction. And so that's all that happens. Now you're slightly turning, the dog's still on a line this way. Now they feel the pressure, you extend the arm, so now the dog is going to start looking, but the dog still has to take one more stride in this direction before he can turn, and there it is. And so now he digs in to take it. So you're very fortunate that the dog was even able to take the jump. So now what's the unintended consequence of handling and putting pressure on the dog's line? Because one of my pet peeves is pushing into a dog in order to turn them. So hopefully I've shown you now that you're going to get this wide turn with this late push. Well, as you approach this jump, you extend this arm, you pressure the dog's line. This is a rear cross. So the dog is going to take the jump this way. Right? The arm is committing forward, and your legs and your body are pressuring him, so it feels like a rear cross. So the dog goes expecting the rear, and it looks away, and then is shocked when you're not there. So that's all that happens here. You have to push into your dog too much. So how do you avoid pushing into your dog? Again, you want to turn your chest toward the dog. And I posted on Facebook, I think it was under Randall's Run, a video about turning in toward your dog. I think I made it an individual post as well. Someone else was running his dog, and she did basically a serpentine maneuver. You can do that out of weave poles. So what I like to do is, as my dog is exiting, I like to be at the end of the weaves with my chest facing toward the dog, and then I can open up. So it's basically like a serpentine, like a 3-jump serpentine, like this. And the weaves here are the middle jump. And so I want to stand here and face the dog, and then rotate away. That will eliminate both the wide turn and the incorrect predicting of a rear. Okay, nice job picking up here on the blind. And keep moving down to the dog walk. Into position. Into the tunnel. Onto the table. I think the next interesting spot here is going to be the double. Good seesaw. Oh no, it's the double on jumpers. So here is another interesting spot. Your dog is curling towards you on these doubles. Right, the dog is slicing this way. To me, you're clearly running this way, so the dog should be extending. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But that is not not the right response from the dog here. And you can see that, again, you have to push the dog to come out. I don't know if the dog just doesn't see the wingless. I don't know if the dog is feeling that you're pulling. I don't think that you are, though. Maybe just a little bit right here. But that makes sense given that there's a turn coming up. I don't know. That one I'm going to chalk up to the dog. I'm not sure what's going on there. This I like. I think you can stop a little bit more and get through your front cross a little bit more quickly. So here, when you plant for your front cross, the dog is almost about to land. So you go left, right, power step. But you do such a great job with the footwork. You have the 4-step front cross here. You see that even though your cross is a little bit late, that by the time the dog lands, you're able to set the line so strongly that the turn looks just about as tight as it could be. I don't know that you're losing any time there. That's how important that footwork is. So you did a beautiful job on that footwork. Let's look at it one more time. Left, right, left, power step. Great job. And then running out, I think you do a nice job here. Okay. And now on this one, we want to get to the spot. Rear cross here. Into the weaves. All of this is fine. Triple. Tough blind. Tough spot to blind. I think you can turn a little bit sooner if you're going to blind here. Even just a smidge sooner. Maybe right there. So that's a time difference. Yeah, that's a little picky, but maybe 4/10 of a second sooner. But I think the response from your dog is good. Into your pinwheel. A little bit rear crossy in the flat. I think over here I'd like you to run a little bit harder on this line. Straighten out that line a little bit for your dog. Into the tunnel. Okay, so here we have it. I feel like you're running very strongly in this direction. I feel like the dog should extend and take this jump. I don't feel like you slowed down at all, but again, for some reason your dog is curling toward you. So having seen your dog do that twice now, both on the double, and in my opinion your body language is good, I think it's time for an experiment. Go to the practice field, set up the double, and run it. And what you're going to want to do is put maybe like basically a 3-jump sequence. Your double here, and a jump here, and a jump here. Or, just like the setup, a tunnel, double, jump. Tunnel, double, and tunnel over here like this. Some kind of setup where you can do several repetitions. And you're going to want to alternate. You're going to want to alternate you running all out and throwing a toy out here and rewarding. And you want to do that until he stops turning toward you. Until he stops kinking and he makes a straight line. That's the acceleration part. And then you also want to do some decelerations. You want to actually throw on the brakes and see if you can get some wraps and some front crosses and some post turns here. And once your dog is confident, hey, I can take off close to the double and still make it, I can take off far away and get over the double, then they begin to read those cues. Okay, you know the double is just like any other jump. I can decel, I can accel, I can extend, I can collect. But I think that's the work we need to do here over the double. For whatever reason, your dog is extending, yes, but also curling towards you inappropriately, even when you are not signaling them to do so. So to me, that means your acceleration cue is a little bit broken in this specific situation. So I would definitely take it to the practice field, get the double out, ask your instructor to bring the double out, put it on the course that day, and work a few minutes before or after class on those skills. If you have questions about that, let me know. But basically, you're going to do your very most basic A-cell, D-cell drills with the double instead of with a regular jump.